Deep within the misty, bamboo-clad mountains of central China lives an animal that has captured the hearts of people all over the world. It's a creature of stunning contrasts, a walking paradox dressed in a bold suit of black and white. Of course, I'm talking about the giant panda. This incredible bear is more than just a pretty face. It's a symbol of wildlife conservation and a testament to the power of survival against the odds. Pandas are truly unique, found nowhere else on Earth in the wild. Their entire existence is woven into the fabric of these specific Chinese forests, a specialized world they have called home for millions of years. They are living treasures, a national icon for China and a global reminder of the fragile beauty of our natural world. What makes the giant panda so special isn't just its iconic appearance, it's their entire way of life. Imagine a bear that has almost completely given up meat, a powerful animal with the digestive system of a carnivore that spends its days peacefully munching on bamboo stalks. This choice of diet has shaped everything about them, from their powerful jaws and specialized paws to their solitary, slow-paced lifestyle. They are built for a world of green stems and leaves, a world that is becoming smaller and more fragmented. Understanding the panda means delving into this unique relationship with their environment, exploring how they navigate their mountain home and overcome the daily challenges of being a bamboo-eating bear in the modern world. The story of the panda is a journey of epic proportions. It stretches back millions of years, tracing a path from ancient, larger ancestors to the modern animal we know today. It's a tale of adaptation, of changing with the times, and of finding a niche where few other large animals could survive. But it is also a story filled with challenges. From the struggle to find a mate to the immense effort of raising a tiny, helpless cub, a panda's life is far from easy. Every day is a quest for food, a careful negotiation of their territory, and a constant effort to conserve precious energy. Their story is one of resilience, a quiet strength that has allowed them to endure. So let's embark on an expedition into the secret world of the giant panda. We'll uncover the mysteries of their birth, follow their incredible transformation from a tiny pink newborn into a magnificent adult, and understand the deep connection they have with their bamboo forests. We will explore the dangers they face, from natural predators to the much greater threat of human activity, and discover why their survival now depends so heavily on our help. This is the incredible journey of the giant panda, an animal that continues to fascinate and inspire us all. It's a mission to understand one of the planet's most beloved and enigmatic creatures right from the very beginning. The journey to bring a new panda into the world is one of nature's most fascinating and delicate processes. It all begins with a very short window of opportunity. A female panda is only receptive to mating for a mere 24 to 72 hours once a year, usually in the spring. This brief period sparks a flurry of activity in the quiet forests. Males will track a female's scent, often competing with rivals for the right to mate. After a successful encounter, an extraordinary biological event occurs known as delayed implantation. The fertilized egg doesn't immediately attach to the mother's uterine wall. Instead, it floats freely for several months, a clever strategy that allows the birth to be timed perfectly for late summer when bamboo is at its most nutritious. Once the embryo finally implants, the true gestation period is remarkably short, lasting only about 50 days. During this time, the mother panda prepares a den, usually in a hollow tree or a rocky cave, seeking a safe and sheltered spot to give birth. The pregnancy itself is incredibly difficult to detect. Pandas don't show obvious physical signs, and their hormone levels can be misleading, sometimes resulting in pseudo-pregnancies where a female shows all the signs but isn't actually carrying a cub. This makes the work of conservationists incredibly tricky, as they can never be entirely sure if a new arrival is on the way until the very last moment. It's a waiting game, filled with anticipation and uncertainty. The moment of birth is truly astonishing, mainly because of the sheer size difference between mother and baby. A mother panda can weigh over 100 kilograms, but her newborn cub is impossibly tiny. It weighs only about 100 grams, roughly the same as a stick of butter. This makes the giant panda cub one of the smallest newborn mammals relative to its mother's size, second only to marsupials like kangaroos. Born blind, pink, and almost hairless, the cub is completely helpless. It can't see, it can't crawl, and it can barely regulate its own body temperature. Its only instinct is to cry out, a high-pitched squeak that signals its need for warmth and food. This extreme state of underdevelopment, known as being altricial, is a biological puzzle. Scientists believe it's linked to the panda's low-energy bamboo diet. Supporting a large, fast-developing fetus for a long gestation period would be incredibly draining for the mother. By giving birth to a tiny, underdeveloped cub, she essentially outsources the final stages of development. The cub grows outside the womb, nourished by her rich milk, which saves the mother a huge amount of energy. This strategy, born from the constraints of her diet, allows her to invest her resources into caring for her fragile offspring in the crucial first few months of life, a task that requires her complete and undivided attention. The first few weeks of a panda cub's life are a period of intense and constant care. The mother panda is on duty around the clock, a gentle and attentive guardian to her fragile baby. She cradles the tiny cub in her massive paws, holding it close to her chest to provide essential warmth. The cub cannot survive even a few moments of cold, so this contact is life or death. She spends her days nursing it, feeding it rich, fatty milk that helps it grow quickly. During this time, the mother barely eats or drinks, dedicating all her energy to her newborn. It is a period of incredible devotion, where the bond between mother and cub is forged, a connection that will be vital for the young panda's survival and learning. Slowly but surely, the tiny pink creature begins its amazing transformation. Within the first week, faint black patches start to appear on its skin, hinting at the iconic coat to come. By the end of the first month, the cub is covered in a soft, downy coat of black and white fur. Its eyes, sealed shut at birth, will finally open at around 6 to 8 weeks old. This is a major milestone, allowing the cub to see its mother and its surroundings for the first time. It starts to become more active, wiggling and squirming, though it is still completely dependent on its mother for everything. Every day brings a small change, a tiny step on the long road to independence. As the cub grows, its world begins to expand. At around 3 to 4 months old, it starts to crawl and take its first clumsy steps. This is when the real learning begins. The cub watches its mother intently, mimicking her every move. It sees her eat bamboo and will start to mouth and chew on the stalks, even though it will continue to nurse for many more months. This is play, but it's also crucial training for the future. The mother is a patient teacher, showing her offspring which types of bamboo to eat and how to break them open to get to the tender insides. The cub's playful tumbles and climbs are all part of building the strength and coordination it will need as an adult. The journey from cubhood to adulthood is a long one in the panda world. The young panda will stay with its mother for at least 18 months, and sometimes as long as 2 years. During this extended period, it learns all the essential survival skills: how to find the best bamboo patches, how to navigate the mountain terrain, and how to avoid danger. Finally, the day comes when the mother decides it is time for her offspring to forge its own path. She will begin to push the juvenile away, encouraging it to find its own territory. This separation marks the final step into adulthood, as the young panda, now fully equipped with the knowledge passed down from its mother, ventures out to start its own solitary life. Please hit like and subscribe the channel for more interesting life cycle videos. Also, comment below if you want to watch any specific life cycle video for any species. The life of a giant panda revolves around one thing: bamboo. This plant is not just their favorite food, it is their entire world. Pandas are incredibly fussy eaters, and while they might occasionally nibble on other plants or even a small rodent, bamboo makes up over 99% of their diet. They live in a forest that is essentially a giant buffet, but it's a buffet with a catch. Bamboo is extremely low in nutrients and very difficult to digest. To get enough energy to survive, a panda must eat a colossal amount. An adult panda can spend between 12 and 16 hours every single day just eating, consuming a staggering 12 to 38 kilograms of bamboo. Their life is a slow, continuous cycle of eating and resting. To handle this tough, fibrous plant, pandas have evolved some incredible adaptations. Their skulls are massive and their jaw muscles are exceptionally powerful, allowing them to crush thick bamboo stalks with ease. Their teeth are broad and flat, perfect for grinding down the woody material into a pulp. But perhaps their most famous adaptation is the pseudo-thumb. This isn't a true thumb like ours, but a specially enlarged wrist bone. It works like an opposable thumb, giving the panda the dexterity to grip bamboo stalks firmly while they eat. This simple yet brilliant evolutionary tweak allows them to handle their food efficiently, a crucial skill when you need to eat for most of the day. Despite these physical tools, the panda's digestive system remains a major challenge. Evolutionarily, they are bears, and they still possess the short, simple digestive tract of a carnivore. This system is not well suited for breaking down the tough cellulose in bamboo. As a result, they can only digest a small fraction of what they eat, perhaps as little as 20%. The rest passes right through them. This inefficiency is the core reason they must eat such vast quantities. It also explains their famously low-energy lifestyle. Pandas are masters of conserving energy. They move slowly, avoid confrontation, and rest whenever they're not eating, all to make the most of their nutrient-poor diet. This complete dependency on bamboo has profound implications for their survival. Pandas don't just eat any bamboo. They rely on several different species that grow at different altitudes. When one species flowers and dies off, which happens naturally every few decades, the pandas must be able to move to another area to find a different type of bamboo. In the past, this wasn't a problem as the bamboo forests were vast and connected. But today, with forests fragmented by farms and roads, this migration has become incredibly difficult. The pandas' specialized diet, once a key to their success, has now become one of their greatest vulnerabilities in the modern world. The wild giant panda is found in only one place on Earth, the remote, rugged mountain ranges of central China. Their home is spread across parts of the Sichuan, Shanxi, and Gansu provinces. This isn't just any forest, it's a very specific type of habitat. Pandas thrive in cool, wet, high-altitude temperate forests, typically between 1,200 and 3,500 meters above sea level. These mountains are often shrouded in mist and receive plenty of rainfall, creating the perfect conditions for their primary food source, bamboo, to grow in dense, lush thickets. This bamboo understory is the panda's kitchen, bedroom, and playground all rolled into one. The entire landscape is shaped to support their unique way of life. The terrain itself plays a crucial role in the panda's existence. The steep slopes, deep valleys, and rocky outcrops provide natural shelter and protection. Pandas don't build permanent dens like other bears, except for mothers with cubs. Instead, they are wanderers within their territory, finding temporary shelter in hollow logs, rock crevices, or dense stands of bamboo. This solitary and nomadic lifestyle is perfectly suited to an environment where food resources, while abundant, are spread out. They need a large area to roam to ensure they have access to different bamboo species throughout the year, a strategy that is vital for their long-term survival in these challenging mountain landscapes. This specific mountain habitat has not only shaped the panda's lifestyle but also its evolution. For millions of years, these isolated ranges have acted as a natural sanctuary, protecting pandas from the dramatic climate shifts that affected other parts of the world. While glaciers advanced and retreated elsewhere, these mountains provided a stable refuge where bamboo forests could persist. This allowed the panda's ancestors to slowly adapt and specialize, transitioning from a more varied diet to becoming the bamboo-eating specialists we see today. The mountains are the reason pandas exist at all. They are the cradle of their evolution, a fortress that has shielded them for millennia. However, this fortress is no longer impenetrable. Today, the panda's mountain kingdom is under threat. Human activities such as logging, agriculture, and infrastructure development like roads and dams have carved up these once continuous forests into small, isolated islands. This fragmentation is incredibly dangerous for pandas. It traps them in small areas, preventing them from finding mates from other populations and making it impossible for them to migrate when their local bamboo supply dies off. Their specialized habitat, the very thing that protected them for so long, now makes them incredibly vulnerable to changes imposed by the modern world. For a solitary animal like the giant panda, reproduction presents a significant challenge. Most of the year, pandas prefer to be alone, peacefully foraging within their own territories. But for a few short weeks in the spring, from March to May, their behavior changes dramatically. This is the breeding season, and the quiet forests come alive with activity. Female pandas enter their estrus cycle, a period when they are fertile, but this window is incredibly short, lasting just 1 to 3 days out of the entire year. This tiny time frame creates a frantic race for the males to find a receptive female and successfully mate before the opportunity vanishes for another year. To overcome the challenge of finding each other in the dense forest, pandas rely heavily on their sense of smell. They become walking message boards, leaving scent marks all over their territory. They rub their scent glands against trees, spray urine, and leave claw marks to advertise their presence and reproductive status. A female's scent signals to any males in the area that she is approaching her fertile period. Multiple males might be drawn to a single female, often leading to intense competition. They will engage in vocal battles, with loud bleats and roars echoing through the valleys, and may even get into physical fights to establish dominance and win mating rights. Even if a male successfully finds and mates with a female, pregnancy is far from guaranteed. The biological process is fraught with difficulty. As we've seen, pandas use delayed implantation, where the fertilized egg doesn't implant in the uterus for several months. This adds a layer of uncertainty. Furthermore, raising cubs is so demanding that if a mother gives birth to twins, which is not uncommon, she almost always has to make a heartbreaking choice. Lacking the energy to care for two incredibly needy cubs, she will typically select the stronger of the two and abandon the other. In the wild, the second twin has virtually no chance of survival, a harsh reality dictated by the mother's low-energy diet. These reproductive challenges are a major reason why panda populations are so slow to grow, both in the wild and in captivity. The short mating window, the difficulty for solitary animals to find each other, the high infant mortality rate, and the fact that a female can only raise one cub every 2 to 3 years, all combine to create a significant hurdle for the species. In conservation breeding centers, scientists work tirelessly to overcome these obstacles using techniques like artificial insemination, which helps to increase the chances of successful pregnancies and allows them to save and hand-rear the second twin, giving every cub a fighting chance at life. The giant panda we know today is the result of an incredible evolutionary journey that spans millions of years. To find its roots, we have to travel back in time to meet its ancient ancestors. The earliest known direct ancestor of the panda is a creature called Ailuroarctos, or the cat bear, which lived around 8 million years ago. Fossil evidence shows that Ailuroarctos was smaller than the modern panda and still had many of the features of a typical carnivore. However, its teeth already showed the first signs of adapting to a tougher, more fibrous diet, suggesting it was beginning to incorporate plants like bamboo into its meals. It was a pioneer, the first step on the path to becoming a bamboo specialist. Over the next few million years, the panda lineage continued to evolve. A later ancestor, Ailuropoda microta, which lived about 2 million years ago, was about half the size of today's panda but was unmistakably a bamboo eater. Its fossils, often called the pygmy giant panda, show further specialization for this unique diet. The real giant of the family, however, was Ailuropoda baconi, a prehistoric panda that was significantly larger and more robust than the modern version. This was a true megafauna bear, roaming the forests of Southeast Asia. But as the climate changed and its habitat shifted, this larger form eventually gave way to the smaller, more adaptable giant panda we see today. The most significant change in the panda's evolution was its dramatic dietary shift. Why did a bear, a member of the order Carnivora, give up a high-energy diet of meat for a low-nutrient diet of bamboo? The answer likely lies in competition. Ancient China was home to many other powerful predators. By switching to bamboo, a food source that was abundant and had few other large animals competing for it, pandas carved out a unique ecological niche for themselves. This allowed them to avoid conflict and thrive in their mountain environment. They essentially traded a life of hunting and fighting for a more peaceful, if less energetic existence as a specialist herbivore. This evolutionary path has left its mark on the modern panda. While they have adapted physically with powerful jaws and a pseudo-thumb, their internal biology still tells the story of their carnivorous past. They retain the short digestive tract of a meat-eater, which is why they are so inefficient at digesting bamboo. They also lost the gene for tasting umami, the savory flavor associated with meat, which may have made the switch to a plant-based diet easier. The panda of 2025 is a living fossil, a beautiful mosaic of ancient traits and modern adaptations, a testament to millions of years of survival in their mountain kingdom. Once a giant panda reaches adulthood, its impressive size and strength mean it has very few natural enemies. Standing tall, an adult panda is a formidable animal, equipped with powerful limbs, strong jaws, and sharp claws. Most predators in the forest know better than to take on such a powerful opponent. However, the world is not entirely without danger, especially for the young and vulnerable. Panda cubs, being so small and helpless for their first few months, are susceptible to predation. The biggest threats come from opportunistic predators that share their mountain habitat, such as the powerful snow leopard. These elusive big cats are strong enough to tackle a young panda if they can find one unattended. Other potential threats to cubs include yellow-throated martens, which are surprisingly fierce weasels that hunt in packs, and birds of prey like eagles, which could snatch a very small cub. This is why a mother panda is so fiercely protective and rarely leaves her young alone during their first year. She is their ultimate defense, a vigilant guardian against any potential danger that might be lurking in the forest. Her presence alone is usually enough to deter any would-be attackers. The mother's dedication ensures that her cub has the best possible chance of reaching adulthood, a stage where it can finally fend for itself against the few dangers the natural world presents. The panda's main defense strategy isn't aggression, but avoidance and camouflage. Their iconic black and white coat, which seems so conspicuous to us, might actually serve as effective camouflage in their natural environment. In the dense bamboo forests, the mix of light and shadow created by the stalks can break up the panda's outline, making it surprisingly difficult to spot. Some scientists also suggest the pattern could be a form of communication or a warning to other pandas. Whatever its primary function, their main goal is to avoid confrontation. They are solitary animals that prefer to keep to themselves, using their excellent sense of smell and hearing to detect threats early and quietly slip away. While natural predators pose a relatively small risk to adult pandas, the greatest perils they face today are human-induced. Habitat loss remains the #1 threat, as forests are cleared for agriculture and development. This not only reduces their available food and territory, but also isolates populations, making it harder for them to breed. Pandas can also be accidentally injured or killed by traps set for other animals, like musk deer. These modern dangers are far more pervasive and deadly than any natural predator. The survival of the giant panda no longer depends on its ability to fight off a leopard, but on our ability to protect its fragile mountain home from disappearing. The story of the giant panda is now inextricably linked with the story of its conservation. For decades, this beloved species was on the brink of extinction, its numbers in the wild plummeting due to habitat loss and other human pressures. But an immense coordinated effort, led by the Chinese government in partnership with international organizations, has started to turn the tide. This crusade involves a multi-pronged approach, tackling the problem from every angle. One of the most crucial elements is the creation of a vast network of nature reserves. Today, there are over 60 panda reserves in China, protecting more than half of their remaining habitat and providing safe havens where panda populations can live and breed. Alongside protecting their wild habitat, captive breeding programs have become a vital lifeline for the species. At research bases like the Chengdu Research Base of giant panda breeding, scientists have made incredible breakthroughs in understanding and overcoming the panda's reproductive challenges. Using methods like artificial insemination and hand-rearing abandoned twins, they have successfully boosted the captive population, creating a healthy genetic reservoir. This captive population acts as a crucial insurance policy for their wild counterparts. The ultimate goal of these programs is not just to have pandas in zoos, but to breed genetically strong individuals that can one day be released back into protected areas to bolster wild populations. The success of these efforts is a testament to what can be achieved when people work together. In 2016, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, announced a significant milestone. The giant panda's status was officially downgraded from endangered to vulnerable. This was a moment of celebration, a sign that the hard work was paying off. However, the fight is far from over. Being vulnerable still means the species faces a high risk of extinction in the wild. The threats of habitat fragmentation and climate change, which could impact bamboo growth, remain severe. Conservation is not a one-time fix. It is an ongoing commitment that requires constant vigilance and effort. Protecting the giant panda is about more than just saving a single charismatic species. The panda is an umbrella species, which means that by protecting the vast swaths of forest they need to survive, we are also protecting countless other plants and animals that share their home. The panda's habitat is a biodiversity hotspot, home to other rare species like the red panda, the golden snub-nosed monkey, and numerous rare birds and plants. When we save the panda, we save an entire ecosystem. Their future and the future of their mountain kingdom rests firmly in our hands, a responsibility we must continue to uphold for generations to come.